Reptilians and how they view Earth and humanity. Hello again, thank you for being here with me once more. I hope you are very well today. I am Mari. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. First of all, I will be using the word reptiloids more often than reptilians, as I'm not sure if YouTube censors that word or not, yet I am mentioning it anyway here, so who knows. Reptilians or reptiloids are not one species, as they are most commonly depicted in the New Age community, as they are an extremely vast genetic pool of several thousands of species, including those who may be considered as simply animals, who are all technically and genetically reptiles. They are a large group of species who go from those little, minuscule garden lizards, who are barely an inch long, and who are completely harmless, to the almighty alpha draconians, on the other extreme, as the apex of the reptilian genetic pool. Speaking about the alpha dracos, there is another very important piece of information I left out of their video last weekend, although I did mention that their wings are attached to their arms, and it is that they do not have 4 legs and a set of wings, as they are most commonly depicted in all the images found in the internet, many of which I even used myself as I did not have anything better to use as illustrations for their videos. Their powerful long arms are the structures to which their wings are attached, and their arms are webbed like bats, because otherwise, and as depicted in countless images, they would have 6 extremities, and that is incorrect. And the way they walk, with their huge wings folded back and over their backs, makes them look even more menacing than the simplistic 6-extremity model found in popular culture. Coming back to today's topic, complex reptilians, those with a culture, interstellar or not, have been on Earth long before the arrival of the first Lyrian, space human immigrants. I will not mention dates, because as I have explained in other videos, Earth's history is a real mess, and the official time frames couldn't possibly be more fictitious or plain erroneous. On Earth, there is one dominant reptiloid species with an advanced culture, and although they are usually called the Kingu, they also go by many other names. They are said to be a secondary species, created by other reptilians popularly known as the Usungal, but I found many contradictions here, as in other documents, it is the Kingu who created the Usungal. A primary species is one which is directly manifested from source, as the materialization of the set of ideas a soul is attached to, and therefore manifests as a mirror of itself. And a secondary species is one which was created by technology, and by genetic manipulation, or so it is said. Kingu reptilians inhabit underground, and all over Earth, they are found on all continents. They are divided into 3 subspecies, the green ones with a beige underbelly, who are the working class, the red-skinned and scaled, Kingu who are much larger and much more muscular, and who also have a beige underbelly, and who are the military class, those in charge of repressing the green ones, and actively engage with humans as well, and finally the white Kingu, who are the ruling class and royalty. These last ones are nearly completely albino, and unlike the other 2 subspecies, they have large webbed wings, although they are useless as they cannot fly. As to why they have those useless wings, it is not known, but they are taken as symbols of high status, as they feel they are genetically closer to their idealized reptilian gods, the Alpha Draconians. All 3 subspecies have tails, where the green ones have the shortest, and the white ones the longest. They live underground, not only in variants of those infamous dumps, or deep underground bases, where they share spaces with human military who are appointed there by their governments, and with which they have numerous cooperation treaties. They mostly live, as a culture, in the vast spaces in what is called Inner Earth, where they have been since time immemorial, as they do not see the surface of the earth as a place worthy, or dignified enough for them. They see the surface of earth, as a farm or as a multiple-purpose supermarket. As they say, it is a place only for the low-life slime called humanity, which they exploit for all kinds of resources, as we will see later on. Within their 3 subspecies, their culture is divided into 7 social classes, where the ones above exploit and diminish the ones under them, in a highly pyramidal, classist, and elitist structure. Their socio-cultural structure is classified as an advanced feudalistic classist royalty, which is just about the perfect opposite of a holistic society. It is based on social classes that must oppress those under them, as they too are oppressed by the ones above. This social structure, which other interstellar societies see as retrograde and regressive, permeates into human culture and society, as it heavily influences it through the action of high-level human politicians, who interact with their Kingu counterparts in various ways, and with whom they sign cooperation treaties, none of which are in favor of the human population. Kingu are highly carnivorous, and besides animal cattle, they do have a marked taste for human flesh. However, they take it mostly from human farms deep underground, and not as much from people on the surface, although they do that as well, as they love to hunt their prey, and the more it suffers, the better it tastes. They are responsible for a large mass of disappearances on the surface, especially of the younger models of human, if you know what I mean. They do this systematically as they have direct control over their minions in secret societies all over the planet, some of which are directly them, in human disguise. They consider Earth to be their planet, not humans, and even though they live and thrive deep underground, they do not consider that place to be in any way a lesser one than the surface, as Inner Earth is a vast place, formed by super-large, country-to-continent-size cavities, which are boiling with life, which is being fed by large geothermal structures that provide heat and light, and which the idea of an inner sun comes from. Earth, like any other planet, is not hollow as such, as it has countless super-large interconnected caverns, similar to a large Swiss cheese, and there is where they are found. They have large technological cities there, which also interconnect with human military bases underground, those which in turn connect to the surface. It is safe to assume that the retrograde, highly repressive governmental models found in many countries on the surface, as well as things and anti-humanity agendas like the ones you all know about, come directly from this regressive reptilian influence. From the reptilian perspective, Earth humans are a lesser species, comparable with cattle, and who live in ignorance, and in a lie, all designed for their exploitation. Yet, they do fear and therefore respect Lyrian space humans, as they see them as dangerous, and very capable, and this is also translated to the starseeds below, who are also seen as more space humans, and agents of a Lyrian system which can menace theirs strongly. Their preferred way to manipulate and guide humanity is by mind control, which includes the creation of a false reality, utilizing lies and hiding truth. Starseeds and highly conscious humans are difficult to impossible to manipulate, therefore the Kingu see them as a big threat, therefore they go out of their way to develop ever more complicated mind control strategies, such as alternative religions, and philosophical trends tailored to appeal to those who are starting to awaken. An example of this is the mainstream New Age culture, but it's complicated, as there are many truths and good things in it as well, so it cannot be entirely discarded, yet it is heavily manipulated, and used to deviate, manipulate and change the course of the way starseeds and highly intelligent, aware people think, act and view life and reality. These species of earthbound reptiloids have highly developed psychic abilities, which allow them to astral travel at will, and to the point where they can also dwell in lower astral realms, where they interact and cooperate with other kinds of lower astral entities. Lower astral realms from which they can also access unaware humans, and from where they can manipulate them efficiently, exactly as all those other lower astral entities, egregores, and creatures I have described in other videos do as well. This is a very important point to understand, as these reptilians are not only interdimensional, or astral beings as many other people claim they are. They are as biological and material as you are. They live in the material world, or the world of the living as I also call it. This means that they can be found and captured, or whatever. You could make a bag, a belt, and a pair of cowboy boots, with their thick skin. But as they can engage in astral and spiritual warfare in an organized way, they can act as if they were only interdimensional beings only. This takes me to another important point, which is the strong rumors of them having active shape-shifting capacity. As the biological lizard they are, they cannot change their appearance, they cannot and do not shape-shift directly as such. They are lizards, and they stay a lizard as such. Having said this, as they have such strong psychic abilities, they can mentally control weak human minds into thinking that they look like something else, anything else, including something like a vending machine, if they want to. But that is not shape-shifting as such, as that is only mind and perception control, and making things worse, they also have devices to aid them to do this, whenever they need to, devices which are classified as synthetic telepathy, and which vastly amplify their natural abilities. Next important point about them. As they have such a strong ability to astral travel, and they are such experts in that, they can also use organic portals, which are people, human bodies that are empty shells, and which they use to walk around as normal humans, looking human and all. This is an extremely common practice, where they are basically a sleeping lizard, or a meditating reptile somewhere deep underground, that is astral projecting its mind into a human body on the surface, all this to use it to further their control and exploitative agendas against humanity. They use empty human organic portals in places of power to maximize their influence, in the exact same way other lower astral negative entities use those as well, for the same purposes. The only real difference between a lizard and an entity would be that the entity only exists as such in the lower astral, most commonly as a human manifested egregore, who works through an empty organic portal, or human NPC, and a lizard who does the same, does have a live biological body. Yet there are some known limitations to their capacity to infest, influence, or interact with, or through, a human body. For the lizard mind to connect properly with the human organic portal, there must be a certain frequency compatibility. Frequency compatibility is associated with genetics, as genes are nothing other than antennas to bring into the so-called material world the signal from source, a signal known as a soul. This means that these reptiles can only work efficiently and correctly through people with certain genetics. Only human bodies with a certain range of frequencies can be controlled at will by a remote reptile mind. Certain genetic markers found in the human general population makes them easy targets, and easily influenced by lizard minds, but only by some lizard minds, as they need other genetic markers to exist in the human body, for another kind of reptilian to come into it, and use it. This means that lower-class green lizards will use lower-class human organic portals, such as low-grade politicians, and people in places which can be useful for them. And higher class reptiloids, such as the white upper class, will need other genetic markers to be present in the organic portal human they will use. This is why those upper class reptiles need to use specific human genetic families, associated with royalty and the high upper class. All those lack empathy because they are lizards. They may look like humans, but they have a lizard mind inside. Many reptiles who work through humans, and which it is their role to be one for their society, alternate bodies, between their original reptile one, and the human. All this has made it extremely difficult for most people and researchers to understand, because humans usually do not have such advanced mind control and astral projection capacity, therefore they tend to dismiss this capacity only as science fiction, as it is well beyond their reasoning. Even though all that I have shared here with you today depicts the earthbound reptilians as negative and antagonistic to human interests, it is said that many members of their society do not agree with how things are, and how they treat and manage humankind. Although there isn't much data about them, their whereabouts, and if they still exist, or were finally eliminated by the others. How the Galactic Federation views and manages them will be a subject for another video, which will be coming soon. This will be all for today. A special thank you for your very kind donations, as I, and we, need them very much. Thank you. If you donate through the link, you will receive a thank you confirmation message, but please bear in mind that it may take several hours to get to you, as the response is not automated. It is us behind a keyboard sending each one manually, so thank you for your understanding and patience. Thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing for more. And I hope to see you here next time. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.